off a couple. He's still going. Butler over in the corner. That's the line. Over the line he rolls. Burnside. Brighton. Old Collegians have turned it over. Oh, he's got it again. He's got to go. Spry will do very well. Spry will go out. Port Adelaide will push out. And they will push on third. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to a changeable Tregenza Oval. As per usual, I am David Webb. Pete Cross will be with me today. I'm just looking for him. He's not quite with me at the moment. He's getting refreshments. We are here for Old Coles versus Brighton. A repeat of a game that we watched not too long ago. I'll just go through and see whether I can find the results. That one was down at Brighton. Brighton getting up on that one is 6th of July, 33 points to 19. But this is an interesting one. This is number 1 versus number 2 on the table. It is a game that has ramifications all over the place. Brighton can really cement that top spot. They sit at the moment, they are 2 points clear of all Collegians, but probably more interestingly, they're 5 points clear of Brighton. Onkaparinga are down with 48 points there in 4th place, and then Southern Suburbs probably making that 5th spot of their own at the moment on 41 points, with Port Adelaide sat in 6th on 34 points. But where this is interesting is if Old Collegians can get this one and get a 4-point win, a bonus point win, then that will leapfrog Brighton, but it will keep Burnside in touch, especially if Burnside can get a result today, which, you know, is always possible. Burnside, just let me have a look in a second. Burnside are away to Southern Suburbs today. Onkaparinga are away to Port. Port could put a cat amongst the pigeons if they win that one, but probably on paper you would say the men in red and black would take that one. Elizabeth Barossa up at Wammer Oval. You would think that would be a close one, but Barossa would hope to get the biscuits on that one. Elizabeth still waiting for their first win of the year. Old Coles Brighton, that's the game that we're about to watch. Adelaide University will be taking on Woodville just down the road from here at Waite Oval. So interesting day. Now the sun is out and the sun is shining at the moment, and it is definitely an at the moment kind of day. It's been it's rained at least 3 times since I've been here this morning, so changeable day as we've said, and I am joined by Mr. Cross. Crossy, how are you?
Good, Dave. Very well. How are you?
Good. A man who did so well last time, he's been asked to come back.
I know, absolute pleasure to be sitting here again.
By popular demand. But I was talking to myself, really, or the people out there in broadcast land. Massive implications on today. Old Coles can leapfrog if they get a bonus point win.
That's right.
But also we'll keep Brighton in touch with the pack, because if they get a 4-point win today, they can start to push away a little bit. It's really tight at the top of the table. You know, if Burnside get a win today, and Old Coles go down, especially without a bonus point, then Burnside, it'll be all change. It's probably been one of the most fluid tops of a ladder we've seen in the last couple of years. It's
been fluid, but certainly Brighton has been holding that top spot and been very sort of comfortably getting those wins each time to just keep them at the top. So for Old Coles today, a win, regardless of any changes, is a real psychological one of we can get it done. So that's really the big one for Old Coles, of just looking at the long-term game. Come finals, a win today will mean it's possible.
Well, we were talking before we came on over, we were having a little chat before, and we were talking about Premiership windows, and we feel that the Old Coles window closed for a little bit, probably the last couple of years, and I think even by your high standards last year, probably just didn't meet the mark for Old Coles.
We had a bit of a player drought, or the disbandment, the players moving on, people sort of wanting to that last final game before they head on interstate, and we lost a couple of key players, certainly in the forward pack. That's where we've lost players, and so we've picked up new players this year, and it's been able to give us a real push and a real opportunity now running in for the next couple of years. We see we're in a good spot.
And Burnside as well. It's hard not it's hard not to feel like the Premiership window may be closing, specifically with the group of players that they've got at the moment. Obviously, there is some youth coming through. It's nice to see the likes of Harrison Rahali coming through and Alippa coming through. So they could prolong that a little bit longer. But quite fittingly, Brighton are on screen at the moment. We did say that Brighton, as a club, don't seem to have a window. They just seem to have a hole in the wall because it's just constantly there.
It's an amazing one, or it lasts. The legacy of Brighton has been going for so long. Such great player numbers, such good fight for positions, all the way from under 8s all the way up. Multiple grades in some. Around the 12s and 14s, there's often 2 teams they've got running out there. An A and a B team to run onto the field, and with that depth, it all just pushes up and it forces people to put in everything at training because your jersey's on the line every week.
Now, not too many changes from the last time we were here. Obviously, the jersey's a fairly big change, but the astute of you will notice that the socks today are pink. It is Ladies' Day at Tregenza Oval, so the clubhouse is all done up. I went in there. There's a buffet and
pink balloons.
And, all sorts of stuff going on. But changes as far as they go. Number 8, Gary Mann is not there, but you have
shoulder injury there.
Yeah, you have a ready-made replacement in Stuart Nutt, who's come back for the weekend and has got the dispensation to play. And I think we were talking, he came down and he just wanted to run around on a Saturday afternoon.
He thought he might have a bit of a jog in 3s and 2s.
He's been thrown into the A grade, but certainly someone he's playing rugby in Sydney, he's getting around in Sydney, so certainly somebody you can fit in. As far as Brighton goes, I don't have a team sheet for them yet, but almost household names by now, so I'll muddle through. We look like we're about ready to go.
Nathan Satala here, what jersey is he playing in?
15, I think, 15, as I spoke to him beforehand.
Very versatile man.
Yeah, I still think he's probably one of the better counter-attacking fullbacks in the league.
Yep.
And just to talk about conditions as well, I think around the edges it's pretty boggy, but I think in the middle, you haven't had the pleasure of running around out there today, but in the middle it looks okay.
It's quite dry. We put a lot of work into this pitch to try and make it a quick, fast pitch, which means a lot of sand to get to that point. So it's not going to be a slow, sludgy game, as we already are underway with a good run from Benny Blackall there.
So Blackall will start us off, and that's our first look at Nutt. Just looking to this near side. Sadler will start, gets the 9 jersey again. David Allo-Emile, who has international pedigree in his family.
Great drive.
Big yards
Big
after contact. Sadler has to go digging. The arm comes out. Oh, return to the middle for Phil Jones as well. We haven't seen Phil on our screens for a while. But early penalty.
Very good vocal referees. Often let players know when they need to move out. They are offside. Let them know to just try and keep that game flowing. So good awareness, but good start from Old Collegians.
It's certainly going to be a battle of the fullbacks today, because the other 2 Fijian fullbacks today, one is Nathan Satala, as we've discussed, and the other one is Alex Rockaborough. And there is David Allo-Emile. Started his life at Elizabeth and then moved further south, found himself in red and blue.
Absolute pleasure to have him. He's a real character at training as well.
Two ball off the top, Sadler. Pressure immediately. One of the changes I did see is that Tristan Kurtzer is back.
He is, yeah, went a bit of time off, bit of a holiday.
Well, that's unforgivable.
Unforgivable, but he came back last week and started in 2s and picked up, I think, 3 tries, and then came on for the 1s and picked up another 5. So outrageous return, and sees him back over there on the right wing.
The boy can finish.
Yes.
And it looks like they're going to go at goal, first goal of the day. Now, it doesn't really show up. You can just about see the gum tree swaying in the background. The wind is gusty today.
Heading towards the hills, I'd say.
Yeah.
From west to east. So it might pull this back a bit back towards Sadler as he kicks it. He's going to have to actually really put something on it.
Well, I was about to say, and again, if we get to see the kicking action of Sadler, he puts everything on the kitchen sink into it. His follow through takes him off the ground, so I don't think he's overly worried about wind. He just kicks through it. So first one of the day, just to get points on the board nice and early.
You can see the wind coming back onto him. If he can push it
Kind of aim for that right-hand
hard
post.
to the right-hand post, it should pull it back.
Sets it on his way, does just that, and you just see how big that wind is. It pulled it all the way back across, so it will be a 22 for Brighton.
Not a bad start to start in this way. You're making your intentions known and putting Brighton under some early pressure, having to clear their lines here, and in a good attacking position.
So the restart again, and Old Coles will get hands on again. Sadler. Blackall again will go for a run and take on Cook. Cook gets him second time of asking. Sadler will go out to Nutt. Sorry, that's not Nutt, that's Timmy Dawes.
Yeah. Bringing it back this side.
Aloe Emile will go and again runs through the first one.
Took 3, I think.
Sadler will go open into BA. Just drop that one, the arm comes out. Snaffled up by Jaden Phillips. Joe will go into halfback. First time we'll get to see Brighton with ball in hand. Brown is met by a committee of red and blue. Joe will step into halfback again. Ball goes to Booten over the top. Kicks to Rockaborough. A little bit high. Rockaborough a little bit slow to get up.
I think 5 years ago, that'd probably be a perfectly fine ball and all, but...
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but it's head is sacrosanct. You know, I first heard that with AFL, and it's certainly starting to come into our game as well, as Rockaborough will knock it down the line. Listening to, as I walked past Peter Arnold on my way over to the commentary position, he had 2 messages. Be patient and stay close. Just wanted short connections, which I think is, about right now. While it might be good underfoot, I think the ball may find itself getting wet. It would be nice if we could find a gap in the clouds for 80 minutes. Turned over by Brighton. Lovely little offload to Brown. Now Brighton can start to try and put some phases together to Gerd. Gerd will show and then find a little gap. Did very, very well. Finally brought down. Now they've got them on the back foot. Out into the centres to Pitter. Out to Joe. McDonough has to go, and McDonough does well. Brighton just looking for a space. Can't quite get one. The ankle tap gets him. Brown. He shows the dummy. Just behind the fly half, a little interception by the big fella.
But from offside.
Yeah, God bless you, David Aloe Emile, but if you're getting to that point, the chances are you started a little bit too far forward. And Brighton will just settle it down. It's the first time that Brighton have really managed to get hands on ball. Really, really interesting though, if we saw it, Liam McDonough against Joe. Obviously the last time we saw these two teams play was down at Brighton, and your mate was stood up. Your cousin was just stood up by Joe, and I think Liam McDonough will have watched a bit of game tape and decided you can't give him any room at all.
Can't give him space, and the one thing that Joe does very well is try and preserve his wing. He's coming in a bit here to try and hold the space out there because he wants to try and leave it open for himself, so he might look to angle in but actually cut back out again.
Big strong run through the middle from the Brighton number 12. I'm still waiting for my computer to update with the names of some of these Brighton players, because we've got a brand new 10 that we've not seen before. Satala will make a little bit of room. Bartler smartly stays in there. Brown takes on Fleetwood Piper, assisted by his brother. Gerd looks for a little bit of space in midfield, can't find any. And again they will go. Good defensive line pressure from Old Coles. Yeah, picked him. He looks incredulous, but it's definitely there by the letter of the law.
It's good ball security there from Brighton. They've taken the time, patience, if it, the Piet Arnold's words, they've used to effect of the patience, just control the ball, control possessions, and after a while defences will get frustrated, and that's what's happened. There's 2 offsides. Just that eagerness to try and get the ball back, and now as a result, they've worked their way down and into a great attacking spot for Brighton, and I imagine in these conditions they'll probably try and drive this over.
So they've set it well. Ball goes to the back to Jaden Phillips. Halfback just trying to keep it straight. I think they're over the line. They are over the line. Arm goes up. Jaden Phillips will score. So Brighton will get first blood.
Excellent try, Brighton. That was just control. Hold the ball. They got their penalties. They leapfrogged themselves down the field twice, and then a lovely driving maul here. Just control to the back, just to the very end, just brought right to the back there. And very hard to stop and punished.
Well, Jaden Phillips, who we talked about the youth coming through Brighton. He is somebody who's come right through the age grades of Brighton and was selected for the Falcons on Wednesday. So congratulations, Jaden. And round your week off with a try. Well done, young man. Very proud parents away to our right.
So 9 here, I believe his first name Hector.
It is Hector.
Come up through the 3s and 2s and now in the 1s. Same as the fly half for Brighton. Was the 2 guys, I think the 9 and 10 combo here that have moved their way up through the grades, so well done.
So the wind will push that one across the front. It is Hector. I can't remember his surname. I know it's a lovely French name. Rocco is the 12.
Yep.
Interesting centre combination from Rich Wosley. 2 Fijians, but they are different in the way they play. Pitter is very, very elusive, and Rocco, obviously, from what we've seen of him so far, is very, very direct. Curtin will restart us. Is contestable. Made a horrible mess of it.
Back here, we have an old Collegians player down, and they're capitalising on that side. Liam handles Joe very well.
So it's going to be a big examination for McDonough today. So far he's okay, but it's an 80-minute examination. He has to stay concentrated all the way through. There we will go out to Rocco. Rocco manages to get the ball away to Pitter. He can't go with it. Curtin can pick it up. Sadler. Rockaborough will stand in at first receiver. Dawes will just try and settle it all down. Referee just in the way a little bit.
Bump 1, bump 2.
Bump 2, and then 3 and 4 finally managed to get him. Sadler will go again, out to that far side to Curtin, to Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper is wrestled to the ground as the rain starts to fall here. Sadler. Curtin. Dawes. Dawes will just straighten and settle again. Quick ball comes out. Curtin loops it over the top to Nutt. Numbers weren't great outside, so he decides to come back in. Support got to him just in time. Curtin again, flat ball to Blackhall. Nice little offload to Graham. Graham gets some good go forward. Curtin, all the way out to Kurtz. A lot of work to do. Look to put it on the boot and it will go out.
Yeah, I think this will be an old Collegians throw, possibly.
No,
oh, no, okay. Might have bounced back into.
Yeah, they had to think about it. They had a chat about it.
And it's getting quite blustery out there.
Yeah, it's a day for rugby.
Yeah, that's right. I'm hoping for a good slide on some tries.
Yeah,
that's some 10-pointers, hopefully, Dave.
So Maddie Whittington is the 10 for Brighton. He's not somebody who I've seen before, nor somebody I know, but he has gone old Collegians way. I think there was a discussion because he put it to boot, and nobody was really sure which way it went. Brighton managed to get hands on Brown. Met almost immediately though, and the wind picks up a little bit. Gerd will send it to Phillips. Phillips is almost wrestled to the ground by Bartlett. And Whittington will put the ball to boot.
Quite a good clearance here. Hits deck.
Oh, it's bounced well. A Brighton bounce. Going going to force Kurtzer all the way back. He will just step. Good, got him. But he's done well enough. He's got in front of the old Collegians players. Then they will go back to Bartlett. Bartlett finds a way through and beats the second one. Now he's just got to press the loud pedal. One to beat. Doesn't beat him. Good tackle by Satala. Excellent work from Satala. If that's turned over.
Yeah, an infringement there, diving on the ball, but advantage being played.
Almost there. Sadler goes.
A lot
Dawes
of space
will go.
out here.
5 meters out now. Sadler. Now they've got numbers out here. Pulled out the back to Rockefeller. Couldn't quite get there. They're going to come back for the penalty. There you see. And the pictures are reminiscent of the game we had here last year. And while we'll get ready for this penalty, I am going to give some thank yous out. Away to our right, down in the right-hand corner, is Debbie. She is our camera operator around down there. Down to our left is Nicola, and doing the really tough job above us in the scaffolding is Carl and David. So thank you very much to those for Spacequake Sports.
Get a warm cup of tea up to those guys at half-time. I'm very glad to have the shelter here this time, Dave. I'm not sure you would have seen me over here if it was without this.
Yeah, it's
we are protected from these.
They are going through the elements to bring you these pictures, ladies and gentlemen. And 2 years running, we've seen pictures like this here. Sadler to Curtin.
I can't imagine it'll be too complex, but
Curtin will pull it out, go back to Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper will send it to McDonough. McDonough gets over. Old Coles will answer back.
Excellent, brave work from Collegians there. In these conditions where they're really starting to go, they've still gone wide, pushed it through a number of passes. Often a team will just take route one straight up the middle, but have chanced the arm and
well, he had a couple of goes at it, did McDonough, but he got there. Good finish. Obviously, that is the Tremaine Butler corner. Someone's got to go and get it back.
Great little short ball there, and then just enough room to slide in the corner.
Good finish. It's an intriguing but fun battle, I think, between these two wingers, between Joe and Liam McDonough. Just to see, I'm just trying to crouch down and look from underneath our to see whether there's a gap in this coming, and I think there will be shortly.
I like your optimism, Dave.
it's there somewhere.
Not sure what you're seeing, but okay, let's hope on that.
So it is 5 points all.
This is a difficult kick for Sadler here. He's going to push it, has to push it very hard to the right.
Sends it on its way, looking for flags. Just, I don't think it had the legs. That's the direction, just not the legs. So 5 points all. And I think that is going to, it will sort itself out at some point, I think, today. Well, I think the last time we were here, it was all game. It just never let up. So I think it's going to be slightly different. So nobody wasting any time. We want to get through this one. Sadler just puts it on the boot, looks to clear, and does clear.
Right on us.
Not even sure where it is. I don't know where it made it to, but sent off as a spectator, which we don't condone at all.
He's come down from Melbourne for the weekend, and
but certainly there is a push for better behaviour from spectators. Everybody involved in rugby, really. We get that it's a passionate sport, but there is a line, and we would rather you don't cross it. Just wondering whether this is about that no arms and the late one on Rockaborough, but I'm sure he's had bigger hits than that. I think we are going back for something, so it could be that the late
hit. First penalty, yeah, for hands in the ruck.
It's a penalty. So we see a signal. Yeah. So it is for the shoulder charge. Yeah. Oh, a little moment of excitement. Feels like it could be an hour-long first half now. We've had a fair amount of stoppage. And it's only 10 points to 5 as we hit half an hour on the Wojtek scoreboard.
So last time down here, Old Collegians line out wasn't able to pull it down. We pinched off the top from Brown. It'd be good to see them just put something clinical together, especially coming closer into finals. And
gone the safety ball, and now they're going to try and build that driving maul. Brighton decided they didn't want to contest and just wanted to try and deal with the maul. Can they get it going forward? Can, but it's not.
That's a one call.
Yeah. Oh, now they get it going. Now the people join in.
And we have
even
some
Sadler
joining in.
Well, they love it, don't they? And it's over the line. They're looking for a grounding. Held up. So it'll be a 5 penalty, side entry. Yeah, you know your driving maul's going well when the halfback joins in. Halfback thinks he might be getting.
It's often the halfbacks realise it's not coming back here. I'm not getting it. They're not giving it to me.
I'm going to try and burrow in and score this try myself. So it'll be another penalty. They've gone for the scrum, interestingly, because they managed to get that driving maul going, but they obviously, like the last one we scored was first phase. The last one we saw scored on the broadcast was first phase. See whether they'll do something similar this time.
It has been the preferred set piece for Old Collegians, and let's see what they can put together on this.
Sadler to Curtin to Bartlett. Bartlett will go back inside to Fleetwood Piper. Dealt with by, I want to say, Bellerin. Nutt will pick and go from the bottom. 5 meters out again. Now they might have numbers out here if they can find them. Flat pass out to McDonough. One-on-one with Joe. Steps back inside, and McDonough will score his second of the day.
What a sensational try. To wrong foot, step inside and power through Joe. A man who's extremely good on his feet. That's just dedication. He's found where the try line is. He's done the calculations and knows it's one good jink in, and excellent
good finish from McDonough. And we talked about whether we wondered about the conditions underfoot, and I think Joe has just given us a perfect example of that. We've seen a couple of players lose their footing somewhat, and yeah, he just couldn't stop.
Jink and power.
Yeah. So McDonough certainly at the moment is winning the battle of the wingers. We are in a little period of sunshine again.
Well, he told me he had a big heavy breakfast this morning before his game.
Put on a couple of extra kilos.
Breakfast burger with a hash brown. I believe the hash brown was inside the burger as well, just to give him a bit of extra weight just to push through for those tries. So it's paying off.
Just going to keep an eye on Sadler's standing foot as well, and just see whether that's an issue for him. Because I was about to say it's going to be a difficult day for the kickers, as is proved so far by nobody has managed to kick a conversion yet.
Again, hooked. And the wind was had reduced that time, so that one did fall down to technique.
So not taking on the 10-12 combination, it's just pulled them in somewhat and left them with the numbers out wide.
And that's a perfect result from what they wanted to achieve. A phase 1 in the middle, Fleetwood Piper, one round the corner, and then finished in the corner.
So another restart. Oh, that one's dropped cold.
And that's an offside, I believe. Could be trouble here.
Should be. Yep, there it is. Gemma Cross saying, oh, hey, Pete Cross.
lovely wife at home cooking a ragu lasagna for dinner. I'm
lovely.
looking forward to getting into with the.
Certainly the best place to be on a day like today. So, Brighton with a lineup. Their first try of the day was scored from a driving maul. What are they, about 7 metres out, so it's certainly in a dangerous position for them. Oh, very nearly. Andrew Brown manages to sort it out, manages to get it, reel it in, and then will just power his way towards the line. Takes a couple of defenders with him. Just slowed down. And they will just roll to the left, just trying to get a little bit of extra space. Now they will go out. Oh, I tell you what. He could be very, very lucky to stay on for that one, Alex.
And interesting too, because I believe he had a chance to really have a go at intercepting that, but has almost chosen a lazy option.
Yeah,
and
he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he really had a genuine opportunity to intercept that, and just instead poked the hand out. Maybe got caught into it. Will he defend it or will he go for it? And instead took the wrong option in the middle.
Yeah, your screens are not lying to you. We are in full sun, and it is raining.
Yes, it is both.
Yeah, I have no idea why, but that's what we're doing. But yes, Rockaborough just did not get it in, and was going to do well. The only thing I will say, I didn't like the appeals from the Brighton players. I don't like appealing in rugby. So Brighton will have a scrum. They've opted for a scrum from a penalty as well.
Well, there's a back down.
They're just
hang on, we're showing a different weapon here.
They're just going to go and try and drive it over. Just loses it this time. Hector, then the quick hands to Joe, and Joe should finish from there. And finish he does. And Brighton will score another try. A little bit of swings and roundabouts from these two teams.
A terrific scrum.
Big scrum, and you think if he hadn't lost it at the back, there was an opportunity for a pushover. He just lost it. Good hands, and then Joe almost put your mortgage on him from that far out, wouldn't you?
Yep. They're almost more comfortable in that position than anywhere else on the field close to the line, Joe. He just drops the arm as well, just to shrug off the last one, just to fix it up, get a little bit closer.
And that's McDonough. It's the first time McDonough's kind of been caught out of position against Joe.
He's stuck in that no man's land.
Oh, it's a horrible place to be.
You're looking at the player inside you with the ball, and they're only a step away from the try line. So,
yeah,
the trust on your inside player becomes very tricky.
It's kind of that point you have to trust your inside player one-on-one.
Yeah.
And if he misses it, he misses it. So are we going to have our first successful conversion of the day? No. You can tell that right off the foot.
There's a lot of points that have been left out here.
So 15 points to 10. So we are into the bit of the season where you start to do maths. So what are we, 3 tries? They're 1 try away from a try. Is it 3 tries for a bonus point? 4 tries for a bonus point?
Yep.
So they're 1 try away. Old Coles are 1 try away from that bonus point. At the moment, Brighton will get a bonus point if it was to end now, because they're losing by less than 7. So we are, like I said, in that maths kind of place.
Liam, McDonough just finds him.
He's got a license today, hasn't he? Just not to let him go anywhere. Pitter has a couple of goes at it, manages to get it to go backwards. No.
But lost both teams here actually struggling a lot on the kickoff reception. It hasn't been clean, and it's been a quick turnover, which is, I mean, keeping it a seesaw battle.
There's a lovely little moment between Tim Dawes and Liam McDonough off camera as well, where Timmy Dawes gave him a thumbs up for the tackle, and Liam McDonough celebrated it like it's a try, and it's a massive compliment to Joe, because you know there is that moment where there's just this intake of breath when he has a broken field and lots of space. So to shut him down as quickly as he did, McDonough.
Well, tracked him going through the middle of the field as well. He left his wing, and McDonough left his wing as well to find him.
It's almost like a tagging roll. You could almost say it's a tagging roll.
Oh, the Aussie rules. That's,
yeah,
that's your man.
That's your man. If he just
Yep.
don't let him do anything. I mean, and again, it's a massive compliment to Joe that coaches are starting to, you know, build game plans around him. Another good scrum from Brighton.
It will become. It'll move. You know, you might start to see them use him even as a dummy runner because he'll attract defenders.
The difficulty that coaches will have is if you key on him, then you still have Satala, you still have Pillar, you still have Rocco. I don't think that the Brighton backsline is as dangerous as it was last year.
No, there's two fellas there that.
Well, one went to Sydney and one is taking a sabbatical, I think.
Okay.
Sadler to Curtin. Curtin with a flat ball to Bartlett. Bartlett will go to McDonough early. McDonough steps back inside again. This time Pitter does get him. Oh, it's an interesting one. They're going to let that go. Not. That's how close he is. Ball comes back. Short ball to Kurtzer. Kurtzer will score.
Terrific speed of those rucks. It really moved out of there at a cracking pace.
Now, I question this entry from Kurtzer. Oh, he looks okay from that angle. From the back angle, the entry didn't look great. And Satala certainly had a shot at the ball, but again, a good finish.
We'll see it again here.
It's that one there that doesn't...
It doesn't seem to impact. And it was only through Liam, a bit of a longer place. A bit of a longer place, but it wasn't a stolen ball.
I mean, again, we could...
It really didn't dislodge him.
We could sit and look at it, but I mean, he felt the effects of it because he's still down. But it's something that we've talked about in most of the Old Coles games that we've seen this year. Is something that we've talked about. It's just the pace that the backs play at.
It's an idea around building speed as you get momentum. So after you get one line break, and that's the time to crank it up. If there's someone puts a defensive shot on, then you need to rebuild it. So you work up to a pace, and then you get it at fever pitch. And then there's no point in waiting at all. If the ball's available, move it again, change the point of attack continuously.
So Sadler, ball comes off the tee. He's going to have to drop kick it, which he does. And I think that's possibly, there we go. Oh. That's about as good as it gets. I mean, if you can't kick it off the tee, just do that every time, Will.
What do you say about that? This is fantastic.
It starts to go there.
He's jagged all the rest of them.
There it goes, and then, don't think about it. Just send it on its way. There it goes.
Outstanding calmness to deliver that. Yep, and there it is again.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not stood under those balls, so we don't
greasy.
know. Yeah,
yep.
And I imagine it's swirling around somewhat as well.
But it's keeping this game very tight because immediately Brighton's back on the attack here.
Now, I wanted to say just, Josh Graham and Fraser Morrison have not come back on. And that's well outside of the blood change rule. So I hope it's nothing serious. I mean, you would think it would be because
they're both able to walk off. It seemed comfortably, but the wound could be quite substantial.
Yeah,
then you're coming towards finals, and you make a call: is it worth bringing back on and reopening a wound, or if it is a slight head knock as well? Which
Brighton are really starting to assert some dominance now in this scrimmage. Absolutely destroyed the old Collegians scrum. Whittington, flat ball towards Pitter, does well to pick it up. Kurtzer will get him, and the restart will go. Hector at the back. Short ball. Brighton still managing to keep hold. That one's lost forward. Malcolm will pick it up and then just reverse the angle. Yeah. Leg did come up, re-skirt.
I think it's almost just one on the appeal there from Old Collegians, like you talked about before.
Yeah.
I don't see too much in that.
Oh, is that Mokomoko who's down now? I mean,
Yes,
no,
with his the K's of playing halfback earlier.
yeah,
He's got a smile on his face.
That's an old man injury, that one, John. Time to start playing third, young man. Yeah, it's an interesting. It's a really tough one, that legs above 90, because we know why the law is there. It's to prevent people being dumped on their head and neck. I don't feel that he ended up on his head or his neck, so penalty.
Yeah, I think Rue hopped up there, surprised that there was a penalty for anything. He just half broken a tackle, and the tackler still had his leg, so lifted it just to put him on the ground, just as a half completed tackle.
Yeah, it's always a tough one, isn't it? Kurtz are getting running repairs as well. Be a tough old day. Everything would hurt today, wouldn't it?
Everything will hurt tomorrow, that's for sure. Doesn't quite look it with the sun shining, but it is chilly, and you almost just want to stay busy to keep the muscles warm. So that's kind of the key. If you get cold, and especially as a winger, if you get cold, that's when the injuries will happen.
Oh, two mistakes. The first one from Alo Amir. Well, the turnover in the line-out, and then Hector Bellerin just lost it forward. I don't know whether I'm doing the same as I did with old Liam McDonough and naming him
Robbie.
somebody else. Robbie McDonough.
Good old Robbie.
I know it's a French name.
Oh, I think that's why the Brighton guys just refer to him as Hector.
Hector. Well, he's Hector for now. Damn, that Brighton scrum is
it's powerful.
really starting to take the ascendancy. Whittington, flat ball. Oh, just coughed it up.
The ball of soap just popping out.
Curtin looks down that inside, and again we'll just put it onto foot. Turns to Tyler around, who has Kurtzer for company. Can Kurtzer get him? Just about. So Tyler again, just so good at that at the back. Penalty. Just sealing off.
Wonderful awareness from Curtin. Just seeing the turnover, opportunity to roll one back, put the pressure right back on Brighton, as was done earlier in the game.
Well, you'd think now they're going to put this one in the corner and look to drive this one over as well. We are in red time for the first half. That's Rockaborough coming back. He wanted to keep the jacket on. Told he has to take it off. I felt like a very short 10 minutes. But there has been a fair amount of stoppage in this first half. So 22 points to 10 on the Wojtek scoreboard.
Yeah, Brighton haven't taken advantage of that extra player advantage at all. There was the try straight away, but otherwise, really didn't.
Oh, not straight. But geez, I think Brighton got away with that one. There's a look from the old Coles number 6, because I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I just think it was mistimed from Brighton. The number 3 in the lineup just decided to drive and just went straight through the legs of BA. Billet. Did we work it out whether he was the anglicised version or the French version?
There's Billet, and then there's Jean Roux on the other side. Well, and yeah, that's a waste.
That one will go in, and that will be half time. And they will go and try and get things sorted out. 22 points to 10. It's an interesting back and forward. Certainly in the set piece, Brighton have got the ascendancy, but Old Coles have the ascendancy on the scoreboard. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take a very short break, and we'll be back with you for half number 2. So we are. Well, we thought we did talk about it, didn't we? We're underneath a. We actually can't see much of the pitch. We're underneath a gazebo. So we stood out, just stretched our legs, and we did say be prepared for a short half time because the players will try and control the length of this half time break. If they get cold, they'll want to go, and they did start to break. And I think the referee has said, no, back in you go. So. But it gives us a little bit of a chance to talk. What do you think the messages are from both coaches?
Well, the big one for Old Collegian, they've seen some danger signs in the line-out, and now the scrum as well of Brighton is powerful, eating up the yards. It won't be long before Phil, the referee, will start to see some infringements from Old Coles in ways of stopping this, and penalties may ensue.
Yeah.
But how to fix it now, it's kind of one you can only fix on the training ground. For Brighton, it's almost keeping it in the forwards because that's the strength. The battle is being won with the Old Coles backs on the Brighton backs, and at the set pieces, the battle's being won for Brighton, and also getting some steals on those lineouts of Old Collegians. Their last attempt from Old Collegian to put one in the corner, not straight, wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
The lineout is not operating perfectly for Old Collegians, so Piet's getting stuck into them now, as we can see. And I think just tightening up, making sure that they, the big one is stay connected, and that's about always being within touching distance of your support players, of the ball carrier, so that you can seal off. And whoever, I think, wins possession for this second half will take this one out.
Yeah, and possession is always key. If you've got the ball, the opposition can't score. It's pretty simple, really. I should also just take this moment while we've got a little bit of a break to wish the CEO of Rugby SA, Collegians, a happy birthday. It was his birthday during the week, turned 21 again.
Oh, excellent. Happy birthday, Carl.
So, congratulations from everyone at Spacequake Sports for managing another year on this rock we call home. But it is going to be an interesting one, and it's conditions are not great.
No, they were almost good for a moment.
Yeah, they get there. I mean, it's back and forward. It's certainly the Crowded House song today. Kathy Lindsay saying, lucky no snow. They reckon, so out in Canberra for the AFL last night, we got some snowfall. They reckon it's the first time in the history of the AFL that there's been snow during a game. I think we've seen hail in Adelaide through the week, but it looks like we're going to get another little sunburst at some point. But yeah, good afternoon to everyone who's watching at home. Probably the best place to be watching rugby from right now.
Well, down in our little bunker we're in right now, little bomb shelter.
It's great apart from the fact that it's a wind tunnel. So Curtin will restart. Looks like a good one, and again that's going to cause all sorts of problems. And again, it's a pack that forms, and looks like Mokomoko's done the crumbing to continue the AFL comparisons. Curtin steps back inside. That gap is filled by Gerd. Now they will come near side. Billett. Then Dawes. You know what you're going to get from Dawes. He's dependable, isn't he?
Straight hard lines.
That's about it.
And so this is Rue. Yeah,
Rue
new player
again,
this year for Old Coles.
Sadler again out to that knee, the far side. Curtin, flat ball.
Lost by Nutt.
Yeah, an interesting one because he was going after it. So he'll take the first knock on, and it will go the way of the men from Brighton.
Just would have been good to see Old Collegians build that for a little longer. Some more tight phases. They were just making their way 5-6 metres down the field on each one of those carries.
There is Stuart Nutt with some fairly impressive facial hair going on.
Outstanding moustache. Nice ginger tinge to it too.
All right, Piers Rowan saying mid-20s in Queensland today. Thank you very much for that, Piers.
Always a Queenslander to let us know.
I know, right?
Yep.
He's an Adelaide boy at heart. He'll be missing weather like this.
He never gets to wear his favourite jacket.
Inside to Rocco. Sadler almost nicked it. Whittington then out to Pitter. Pitter will step back inside, gets behind two. Malcolm almost got him in, but he managed to shake away from that. Curtin will knock it out. Loud blast to the whistle.
I'll be surprised what this is for. There's a strip here. Attacking the ball, but
yeah, it's an interesting one. Has he caught it? Has he gone across the top of the shoulder? So yeah, that's what he's given it for, a high one. So Satala will be able to relieve that pressure. I think not out is the call, and Rockaborough does very, very well. That was accidental, I think, but it's going to be a penalty. Can't touch him in the air.
I think Phil's gone to the pocket here.
Oh, that's a tough
and
one.
That is yellow card.
Robbie something. Can't remember his Ferguson. Robbie Ferguson.
Ferguson, yep.
We'll go and sit down for 10 minutes. It's a tough one. He did say as he went off, where was he supposed to go? But yeah,
there's Piers with tweed jackets are where it's at.
Yeah, we could do with a tweed jacket. We are rubbed up under here. So Alo Emile, who's had his moments, but it's again these set pieces, especially those sort of skill plays, as Timmy Dawes just plucks it out the air with one hand. They've got to be bang on today. Shortened lineup.
They weren't in the first. Let's see if there's been some adjustments and discussions here to root the back. That's much cleaner.
Yeah,
but
not
again,
straight though. So it'll be a Brighton scrum. The Brighton scrum has been so dominant towards the second half of the first half.
Yeah, we may even start to see this Brighton scrum start bringing on some penalties as well. If it marches down the field, the scrum dissembles from all Collegians and advantage is played.
It's such a fine line, isn't it? You've got to do something to stop it. And if they're that dominant that the only thing you can do is illegal.
A bit better from all Collegians that time.
Whittington drops it out the back to Satala. Satala will put the ball to boot. We'll find Kurtzer. Kurtzer will try and run around the outside of Brown and does. Then gets hit by Gerd. Good tackle from Gerd.
Possibly stolen.
And stolen
here.
All good. Brown. Can Brighton turn defence into attack quickly? Short ball. Then out to Rocco. Had a couple of bites at it, but a forward one. There's just some warning signs for Old Coles.
Oh, excellent work. Not sure who that was from Brighton at the breakdown.
Well, I think it was a combination of the tackle from Gerd, and it was one of the big fellas in the middle.
But just judged that tackle very well. So the moment Tristan hit the ground, he was right over the top for the steal.
Before the ruck is formed, there is Will Sadler, part of the Sadler dynasty at Old Collegians.
Yeah, a wonderful dynasty.
He's in the minority.
They're marching backwards. The Old Collegians scrum.
Again, just with that banana. Is it going to find Seagulls or Galars as it is here? It does. It takes a massive kick and ends up about 5 meters out. What can Satala do? Satala gets it charged down. It's going to be a Brighton ball, but on 5 meters or thereabouts. Well, good kick again.
Yeah, very good net gain from a scrum that was marching backwards. So that is the worrying sign at scrums for Old Collegians. So well done from Curtin to get it downfield and then smother it to pin him here. And if there's a mistake and an opportunity.
You talk about getting it right, and Jaden Phillips does get it right. Well, Alfie Malcolm's gone into it, so all play on. Phillips again with the big bump.
And
player on. Whistle. Free kick.
Yeah, just a short arm, so I think Joe will...
Alfie Malcolm didn't get the memo, I think.
It's hard when it's cold, you want to get involved.
No, just cuddles, I want to cuddle.
I was a month or so ago playing here in the hail, and being in the scrum looked like the best place to be.
Oh, certainly.
Standing at 10, it was mighty cold, watching hail bouncing off players' heads.
And flashbacks to playing in England and playing on the wing and not being able to get changed for a good 10 minutes after the game because your hands didn't work. And again, another one against the head. chance of use it. Whittington brought down. Counter ruck is good, made enough of a mess of it, but Gerd has managed to come through. Can't get away from Sadler. Can he get his hands free? He does. Gives it off to Brown. Andrew Brown just rolling forward. Hector will go with the short ball to the right hand side. Out again, Whittington to Rocco to Pitter. Pitter is corralled by a number of blue and red shirts. Manages to keep his feet for long enough for support to get there, then on the ankles, but he gets there. Bellerin looks for the inside ball, gets Rocco on it. Good tackle. So Joe will go into half-back and then give it to Gerd. Looks to step back inside. Did enough. Now they've started to roll forward. Little pick and go.
There's the advantage being played now, and there it is.
Yeah, it's a real
quick
tough
tap
one.
taken.
Tap has gone. I'd be interested to see it again. I think Nutt actually has a an argument with that one. Brighton will look to build again. Little pick and drive to the left-hand side. Again they will go. Hector surveys his options. Another little pick and drive. They are within 5 meters. Phillips, he will pick and go. Got to get your body shape better than that. Does enough to get to ground though. Andrew Brown is lurking out on this near side, but they'll pick and go again. Just trying to batter the door down at the moment. Another little pick and go. Old Coles have done well. Can't get sucked in though, because there will be space out right if they want to go. Little signal from Hector. Another look.
Not sure.
Try Given, he's got there. I mean, I've said it before, if you keep knocking, the door has to open, and Jaden Phillips will get his second try of the game. We'll see, we should see on this one whether he got there. So there it is.
Good.
There is the grounding. It's a very, very good spot. I don't know whether he got a signal from the assistant on this near side, but he got there.
Wonderful controlled rugby from Brighton. That phase count there, that started in the midfield. I think we got up to maybe into the 20s there, and then a pick and go game from Brighton that has been a strength in their club for many, many years, decades.
It's a big, big ask to defend that for that amount of time.
If you're doing it right, doing all the right things, and continuing to have the good support there, there's not a lot you can do but give away, the inches each time, and eventually, unless someone can put on a marketable hit or a little knock on, you're going to go over. Change your kicker.
So it's Whittington who is going to go. Just waiting to, everyone waiting to settle. Sends it on its way and off the post and out. So 22 points to 15. A converted try between them at the moment. It was just going back to that penalty with Stuart Nutt. I was looking at it, and I was thinking there is absolutely no way he can be holding his weight here. But he wasn't off his feet.
No, it was just absorbing the clean out each one.
Yeah,
but there could be a slight
possibly his elbows were on. That's about as good as a restart as you can get. But
unchallenged.
I'm not sure old Coles thought it was going the 10. Hector, Gerd, inside ball to Andrew Brown. Again, good yardage after contact from Brown, and then out to Logan Brown. He will bump off
Rue there.
Rue. And into midfield, the dummy did its job. Trying to get his hands free. Support comes, black and yellow jersey streaming forward. Out to Pitter. Pitter will look to step back inside. Combination of Bartlett and Kurtz have got him. Rocco will step into halfback. Cook. Stewie not saying you shall not pass. Bellerin.
Hector going for a bit of a dart, and they've got space out here. Some crossing there.
Yeah, he did run behind a couple. Sometimes you get away with it, but I don't think he was going to at that point. It's a pressure relieving penalty.
It certainly is. Great attack and a lift of momentum. It's really swung Brighton's way.
Well, we did say it was a little bit of swings and roundabouts today, and it certainly, the pendulum has swung back towards Brighton. Just inside the Brighton half. Old Coles will have the line out.
So test here, last few haven't been straight.
Well, we'll get a decent look at it from here.
It's been a lack of clinicalness in the set pieces from Old Collegians.
Better, but missed a target, and Andrew Brown will come away with it. So he gets one straight. I mean, yeah, Jack Cook takes on Dawes. Dawes does enough. Hector out into Logan Brown. Whittington to Rocco.
Great defence from Nutt.
Cook to Satala. Satala just with the little stop and go, and then tries to go around the outside. Hector to Andrew Brown. Again, just manages to keep going after that first contact. It's a really good look at Hector's eyes there. He's constantly looking at the post defenders to see whether there's a gap for him. Whittington met in the backfield, as it were. Just forced backwards slightly. Inside ball, man and ball. Black
Big man on little man.
Wow. And we've talked about how difficult it is to not hit Joe high, and that's about as good as it gets. Joe back up and will go again. Finds a little bit of space, sends it out to Andrew Brown. One-handed back inside. There's a whistle, the suspicion of forward, and it was forward. That's Ben Blackall. Welcome to the party, son.
So here's a little.
I don't think it's this next phase. Yep. He takes the next one, and
Benny has a. Yep.
Benny Blackall's got him. No,
fantastic shot.
There you go.
Prop on a winger. That is, well, they lick the lips and put all of your body weight and just lie there for a while. Just.
We'll cut that up for him. It can be his profile video for the next couple of weeks.
Go on the rugby resume.
Good shot, young man. But Joe was up and about.
Again, and straight up and made a bit of a half break as well. Yeah, he's
so the sun's gone down, but we're off and going. Curtin again will look for a little bit of space. Has he found it? He has. Bounce is going to work for Kurtzer. Kurtzer versus Satala. Goes back inside to Fleetwood Piper. He'll beat the first one. Can he get across? Flag comes up, and flag is up. It's going to be a Brighton ball. And again, we talk about the fine line for Bullower, Peter Bullower.
Jeez, what a lucky bounce! What a terrific hit! And then
using his forehead, Dave.
Guest commentary from Tremaine Butler.
It's interesting technique, isn't it?
There's no arms in it.
No arms at all. Just I'm going to chest you over the sideline. Is it a thought of a shoulder, then a no, I won't to a...
Yeah, but that one's probably one of the better ones I've seen from him, to be honest. So it's going to be a Brighton ball, and again, big test for Jaden Phillips. These are the ones you've got to get right.
I think this is where Brighton's been actually very good today. On the money, they've been doing their work, and there it is.
Yeah, that's clinical. About as good as it gets.
Yep. It's safe and secure each time.
Just going to see whether they're going to think about an exit play. Just trying to get a little bit of extra room. Or are they going to go?
They're looking to work their way out.
Hector is directing
Here it
traffic,
comes.
then they'll go to Whittington and he'll put the ball on boot. That doesn't feel like it's gone out. It's going to land on top of Sadler. Sadler will step back in. Oh, there was a little hand in there.
In that ruck.
Yeah, I think he's got it. Yeah.
From Cook. Had a go, got cleaned out, and then just tried to throw an extra finger to just bring it back.
It's not a bad penalty because
but what they do here, Collegians,
the line-out hasn't worked as well as they want it to do.
It's just been a handover of possession, the line-out, and they're going to it.
Yeah, I talked short memories. So talk about that in sport a lot. David Oyelowo-Emile, as he walks to this line-out, has to forget every single line-out that's gone before. It cannot weigh on him. He just has to go and throw this one like it's the first one he's thrown. Because Brighton have...
And they'll contest this, Brighton, now, knowing... Normally they might have not, but they'll go up for this, knowing the throws haven't been on the money.
I think he's got the hook.
Oh, this is Stuart Nutt, who is normally a hooker. Playing over at Sydney Uni, so he'll be comfortable, but I don't know if he knows the calls, so this will be interesting where this ends up.
Just hit the jumper.
And then
that one's
lost
not gone again.
Just a handover possession each time on these penalties.
Oh. So Noel Cole's player managed to get himself exactly on the wrong side.
And they've given a penalty. Penalty has ended with a Brighton penalty.
I think he
for
was
Collegians.
sore on the way down.
And Jean Roux having trouble getting back to his feet here. He looks in a lot of pain.
He does. I'm just trying to... Not sure whether it was shoulder or wrist or... He's very, very slow to get up. Oh, neck.
Doing his
the old self-physio. That's how it goes. Just while he's getting ready. It is interesting, and it's nice to see the forwards with the long stops in. Were you a two boots kind of guy? I know you had your orange ones. Did you have a set of long studs and a set of short studs?
Oh, I did back in the day, running around in first year of seniors, and it was always the one that you had the screw-ins, probably before molds were even a thing. Only soccer players had them. But now I just go for one that are somewhere in the middle of length, and they're the molds.
I only play when the weather's good anymore. Purely a summer rugby man.
I have that feeling about trainings.
I feel like you probably should have earned the right. I reckon if you've played for 20 years, you earn the right to selectively train.
I believe there should be an over 30, don't need to train Tuesday sort of rule or something in there.
No pre-season.
Yep.
Phillips, who... that's... Well, the penalty's there, and he did embellish it somewhat. Hector out to Rocco.
Seemed a bit high there, but...
Still going to get there, and the ball's been turned over, but they're going to come back. Just penalty for pulling down. Here's Mr. Gerd. Barber ran out of money halfway through.
It's just lost for words when I look at that each time.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is a choice.
It's a choice, and you've got to wear it with confidence.
Yeah. It's not for us to judge. I'm just jealous. I wish I could have a haircut like that.
Just wonder with the baseball cap on whether it looks like a normal haircut with it.
Yeah, but it just looked like a mullet, wouldn't it?
Say.
So Phillips,
Extra bit of pillow.
who, in complete contrast to old Collegians, has been absolutely faultless from the lineup. Good short ball to Rocco. Norta's hands on that one.
And
is he going to get the reward for it? Not sure which way they're going to go with that. He's talking to Timmy Dawes.
well, these rucks are very hotly contested.
Yeah, I felt he was fine on that one.
I did too. He wasn't removed from the ruck. He was there. He had hands on it. He wasn't removed, I think.
Not rolling away.
Yeah, no, we'll be disappointed.
So I don't think that one's gone against Stewart.
Okay, the tackler maybe not
Must have
rolling
gone-
away.
Yeah, that's what he's gone
Which
with.
can impact the clean out
Oh.
arriving when you've got bodies you've got to get around to make your own clean out. And if it's not your bodies, then
An interesting one. So Phillips. Oh, don't gave him the commentator's curse, but Andrew Brown helped him out. And they're just going to rumble over that 5 metre line.
Yep, I think the backs could take a break because I'll be
I
surprised.
think
I'll be surprised if
yeah.
it gets out wide. This.
I think we know what's coming. Gerd puts his head down. Goes a little bit sideways. Gonna go again. Out they will step. Dawes has hands on. Couldn't quite get there, and again they're very, very close.
I believe that's held up. Yep. But it's sapping work for old Collegians. And just take yourself back that they were 5 metres out earlier, kicking into the corner, and handed it over, and here we are.
Yep.
Down here, all right under the pressure.
And that's not a great place for the footing of the scrum. And if Brighton get it right, I think we've had a couple of pushover tries, but not too many. They are a rarity nowadays.
Dave, I think we might see one right now.
Yeah, I mean, I did look when I was walking around that patch down in that corner.
It is soggy.
Is soggy. It's not going to be great underfoot. Oh, Coles have done. Oh, they started okay. I think they've managed to hold it. Flat ball to Rocco. Curtin and Kurtzer met him. Again, they've just managed to keep it short. But you think, again, you can kind of know what's coming. Gerd to Cook. Cook will go and Cook will score. And it is rinse and repeat.
Absolutely clinical from Brighton. That was a good. They took the route one off the scrum. Rocco straight into the middle, set up some new platforms of attack, and Cook there just And it's quite a carbon copy of the last one.
So we will be in a position where this kick could tie it up.
But a bit wider a pass off, so a bit of variation in their short game there.
Yeah, they just decided. I mean, because when you look at it, it was Gerd who had hands on, so everyone would have been ready for the pick and go again.
There's a versatile player like Gerd can play in the backs and the forwards, so had that awareness to see Cook positioned in a good line, just to angle in slightly. So let's see, unsuccessful on all attempted conversions so far. Have we had?
No, well, Will Sadler got the drop goal one, didn't he? And that's the difference so far.
Yep.
That is the 2 points that is
Brighton,
the difference on the Voitech scoreboard. So there is a lot on this kick for Whittington. It's his head over it, lets it go. Now the flags go up and we are tied up. 15 minutes to go on the clock, plus red time.
Wasn't a lot of height on this, just a little breath of wind just kept it up and over.
See the wind, very artistic shot from Nicola. You can see the little lights are on as well, and the patter of the rain has started again. And with these restarts, could be anybody's.
Just squeezes it over.
Oh, they let it bounce, and Bartlett will get it back. It is a seesaw game again, ladies and gentlemen. And out to Blackhall. He will just rumble forwards. Sadler to Alo Emile. Sadler again. And to Mokomoko. Yeah, they asked for it and they got it. He's been hot on it all day, Mr. Jones, so wasn't going to get away with it.
It's just disappointing there. Just going sideways, saw some space, but probably putting it through the hands or just straightening it up to set it up. They had a moment of shifting the momentum, Collegians. But it's been all Brighton.
So it looks like Brighton are going to just wander up to this one. They will have sorted it out already. No great rush for them to get there as the rain falls again. Again, Phillips is on target. Hector to Gerd, pulls it out the back. To Logan Brown. And out to Whittington, to Pitter. Pitter will stop and go and then give it to Ferguson. Can Ferguson get away from Kurtzer? No, he can't. Nice offload back to Pitter. Fights his way to ground. Cook. Gerd again.
Met well by Tim Dawes.
His own little swinging battle there between Dawes and Gerd. Gerd got the better of it first off, and then Dawes managed to fight his way back into the competition. Pitter.
Now out on the right. He gets her a lot of work, Pitter.
All legs, that young man. And then Satala will send it to Rocco, to Joe. Now Joe does have a little bit of time and space. This time Sadler comes across and gets him. Brown. Little show. Rocco. Can't quite get through, but they are eating up the ground. Hector again out to that far side. Gerd gives it to Phillips.
Great little pass.
Phillips, who's on a hat-trick, by the way.
And working hard to get a third.
Works through. Bartlett found himself in a horrible
I think
position.
Dave's got O'Meal's got arms on this. No.
It's come back the right way. Whittington, look, wants an inside ball, gets an inside ball, and it's Cook. Now they're just going to work back, you think, to that pick and drive work.
Get to the 5 metre and then begin.
There we go. Cook again. Phillips will certainly want to get hands on. Now they go wider. Can they did just manage to stop Andrew Brown. Very, very short of the line. Phillips has got hands on ball. Phillips will go. Oh, come on, Mr. Jones. The front row deserves a hat-trick. I think that's a foot underneath it from Curtin. Going back for a penalty for not rolling away. It was Bartlett. You can start to see the fatigue for Mokamoka. That's a wonderful challenge from those two. I think it's the foot of Curtin.
Curtin just between the shins has held that up. But
Stealing it. Stealing it from...
Again, you see the attention, the intention of Brighton. Work, get up to that 5 metre line and then begin that pick and go short game. Little hits off the ruck, and it's proving very effective. And with these weather as it hammers down, they're camping out at the right end of the pitch.
So I did wonder, we'd got to 70 minutes, and it's unusual to see us get to 70 minutes with no changes at all in A-grade rugby, and I think just as we got there, we've started to make that change. David Allo-Emile, I think, is taken a break, and there has been some changes all over. Will Sadler is gone, and Alex Rockabur has gone into 9.
We've got Jake Busby out on the wing.
Joe just sends that one out. Didn't look great. It's a knock-on from Nutt, you would have thought. Nah, put the whistle away for a little bit. Hector gives it to Cook, and again, that's how close they are. They're just going to batter down this door again.
Yeah, you actually see Rocco. He'll start creeping in to get involved in this
Phillips,
work.
again, gets over the line. Can he get it down? No, he can't.
Ooh, possible knock on
that's
there,
an
or is he
interesting
giving it a
one.
try?
He's given it.
Goodness,
No,
in slow-mo, I'm not sure.
Just needs downward pressure on the line. It can then go forward. So we'll have a look.
There's been attempted a straight dive for the line.
Well, I mean,
And we've got Benny
Jaden Phillips was
Blackall
close
here.
again. Oh,
I really don't think he got that.
Oh, no.
Because he's tried to find it again.
I think it's come
Phillips
off the
has tried to.
legs of... so Phillips went. That's Phillips has gone there.
Yeah.
This is the one there. I don't think he has. I think it comes off the legs of Blackall. I think what saved the the Brighton player was the fact that it's so wet down there. The ball just died, like it had been placed there.
Oh, it stayed, stopped. Yep. But maybe Phil at a closer angle than us got a better view of it because it was quick to give the try.
So 5 points the difference. Can they make it a converted try between them?
I will be impressed in these conditions if he.
Flags are straight down. There's no wind, so that one's on the way. Off the post again. He's hit the same post twice. So the rain has come down. The rain, and for the second year running at Old Collegians, we are huddled and hiding away from some absolutely horrendous weather. Hector. Whittington out to Pitter. Pitter will step back inside. You would have to say that the way the last 10 minutes has gone, this is looking like a Brighton day at the moment, as there Will Whittington will get the tap tackle from McDonough. Just slowed it down enough. Out to Rocco. Rocco reverses his field, comes back. Hector to Brown. Danny Blackwell will try and keep hold of him, couldn't quite get there. Gerd.
Met well.
Oh, David Allo-O'Neill met him. Jeez, the rain is coming down in rods at the moment.
And a little knock on. It's really coming down now. But a little knock on there. But the possession work from Brighton, it's good. That, I said before the start of this half who controls possession, and it's been all Brighton. And now it needs to be about territory as well. And Old Collegians, apart from earlier that penalty, the start of the half, haven't seen much time in Brighton's 22.
Again, I think a massive thank you to our camera operators who are out and braving this. Nicola away to the left, Debbie away to the right, and Carl and David who are above us on the scaffolding. McDonough goes. Rockaborough to Curtin. Curtin will fire it out flat to Bartlett. Bartlett, if Curtis picked that up, that's incredibly good work from Curter.
No half at the moment.
You cannot understate how good that is. Curtin looking for a little bit of space. Just gets a high one for over the shoulder. And they can push down there. Curtin wants to get on with it. Sends it away. Good kick.
Just as
from Curtin.
Indeed, but as a Collegian, geez, I just hope they can get this one right.
Who's going over to take it? Another change. It's the third line-out thrower.
It looks replacement hooker Nick Howlett, third thrower for the game. And again, but different players, different line-out calls. It's going to be a psychological blow if Old Collegians don't bring this down cleanly.
So it will be the replacement hooker who's going to throw the ball into the line. Again, they've gone to a reduced line. They'll go to Malcolm at the back, and if they get one.
Lovely throw from
Rockaborough to
Howlett.
Curtin. Oh, just seeing how difficult those conditions are at the moment. Bartlett does the full 360. Rockaborough to Dawes. Dawes will just try and straighten and settle again. Inside the last 10 minutes, inside the last 5 minutes, out to Kurtzer. Kurtzer tries to get around the outside, just throws it in field. Cannot get it though. And the turnover comes eventually. Hector sends it in field. Brighton will start again. Nice little dummy from Cook. Got himself the extra yardage.
They'll be happy just playing possession, Brighton.
Gerd.
No need to kick at this stage.
Nearly just couldn't beat the clean out, David Allo-O'Neill. Good counter ruck from Rockaborough, just made a mess of it.
Hector doing very well to organise his forwards.
Just wants the time. You just got to chew some seconds off the clock. Benny Blackhall again. He's put a huge shift in today as Benny Blackhall. Then out to Whittington. Whittington steps back inside. Satala. And again, it's going to come Brighton's way. Inside ball. Kurtzer goes at ankles, gets them. Hector again. Good. Has a couple of bites at it, but finishes it off.
Very good phase count. You're right up in the high teens.
Inside ball to Satala. Tries to shake and find a way through. Can't quite get there. Hector again.
Space here. Oh my goodness.
Poor Logan Brown meet David Allo-Emile. Elborn manages to shake away. Then he will get through. Covering tackle is there from Busby.
Oh, I'm glad we get a break in play.
Two completely different tackles, but my word, both of them absolutely massive in their own way.
Right in front of us too, we heard the boom.
Kurtzer is down, but this is the one, it just, oh. They do say that it's Logan Brown,
he's up
Ginger,
still.
just taking a little bit of time to get back to the scrum, but they do say that there are occasions in playing rugby, it's like being in a controlled car crash, and you saw the whiplash on Logan Brown in that tackle.
The head jolted back. It's that blindside shot as well, and coming from outside in.
And then I think Busby with a slightly different tackle, but almost a try saver from Busby. But time is running out. 5 points the difference. I don't think he needs ice spray on a day like today.
No, rub your leg on the ground.
Yeah.
It's chilly enough. It's coming up through our shoes.
It is cold today.
Brighton camped out at the right end of the pitch, as they have for most of this half.
We are going to tick over into red time very, very shortly. Wonder whether there's change. So David Allo-Emile, I thought had been replaced at hooker, has just gone back to back row. So as we talked about bonus points. That's a bonus point, try bonus point for Brighton at the moment. Bonus point for Old Coles as well at the moment. Curtin finds a gap. Curtin is away. Has a couple to beat. What can he do? He'll find Kurtzer. Kurtzer will hit it hard and straight. Oh, the offload from Kurtzer. Shouts it forward. Busby, Fleetwood Piper. He will show. Fleetwood Piper will go. Fleetwood Piper will score.
What a tremendous breakout for Old Collegians.
Looking that we're going to talk. There's a suggestion that it was forward from Kurtzer. Can't see from that angle. No signals.
From this angle should be a good one.
This one should be.
Jazzy gets lifted in the tackle. Yep.
Oh, you can't call it from there. Try given. Old Coles will hit the front.
Well, hold the phone. Don't put the news in yet. This is going to go down to a final kick.
So.
Oh, nothing in it.
Are we even now?
Yep. Should be locked up. Locked up with the kick to come.
Oh, and it's Rockaborough. We are in red time.
Rockaborough, who
there has been
stole it here last time against Burnside.
These are the ones you dream of, though, aren't they? These are the kicks that you dream of. Left-footed.
He's been waiting for that curtain break all day, and he's taken the last second of the game to have a genuine crack.
Sends it on its way. Flag stay down. We are all tied up.
And we're still going, so it's on the referee's clock here, and we're going to have some interesting rugby.
I mean, we've talked
about... Do you play
about
conservatively, or do you dial up the attack?
We've talked about these restarts all day. Not one of them has been solid. If there was ever a time for Old Collegians to get one right, it's now. Again, another big high hanging kick. It's gone backwards, it's messy, but it's turned Old Collegians' way. Nutt. Rockaborough to Curtin, drops it back inside to Bartlett. Rockaborough, Curtin. Aloe Emile didn't look like he wanted it, gives it on. Now out to Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper steps back inside. The Fijian centre combination for Brighton stops him. Curtin again. Out to Billett.
Billett met
Got
well,
man
and there's a counter-ruck coming in here. No, well saved by Collegians.
Rockaborough to Curtin. Curtin will step back inside. Beats the first one, can't beat the second one. Have to rebuild again. Blackall. Back to the gain line. Some concerned faces wearing the Old Collegians crest over there. Nutt. Curtin loops it over to Aloe Emile. He's just got to get the legs pumping, get to ground. He does get to ground. Mokomoko. Curtin. Out the back to Busby. Busby will just try and run through the channel. Not held to go. I was about to say not held. It's an interesting one, but it is what it is.
Well, that was the highest phase count that Collegians have had all game.
There's about 3 people arguing over who wants to take the penalty. If they could get it into driving maul range, it would be what they want.
No, it's only made about 5 metres.
Timmy Dawes yelling, win it. Everything now becomes massively important. Every single set piece becomes incredibly important now. So the shouts from the supporters is last one. I don't know whether we've had anything from...
I would believe this would be last play. I can't imagine there's any more time left.
Good! Oh, not got him. That one's gone
and
forward.
That's a knock on. This could be the game.
Could be the game. That one from Nutt. That will be it.
That is it.
That will be 27 apiece. I don't think we have seen too many draws for Spacequake Sports broadcast. A lot of talking points. I'm sure you will talk about it all the way through the week, ladies and gentlemen. From me, Dave Webb, and Pete Cross, from a changeable Tregenza Oval, thank you very much for spending your time with us this afternoon. We will speak to you again soon.
Thanks, Dave.